Well, I tried this once before, and I went on for like 20 minutes and then went to listen back, and there was no audio. I opened OBS for the first time in a couple weeks because I had left YouTube, and I meant it. And when I opened OBS, there was an update, and after I installed the update, I don't know, something changed. So I had to go to, well, I maxed out Grok and GPT, so I had to go to Gemini, which is pretty impressive, Gemini. It's got voice input. This is annoying female voice. Actually, it's not so annoying. It's just annoying because it's a robot. Anyway, got to sort it out. Now you have to have an audio input source along with your video input sources. So I hope this test is still valid. I've never been too good at things like OBS routing. Audio engineer here, right? So I've mastered an album that's going to be first CD run is going to be sold on Wednesday at a live performance by Mr. Brian Rich. For those of you who might have been watching and following, the Nashville demo seems to have gone well. It was favorably received. And the Nashville people suggested that Brian have a CD for sale at his performance on Wednesday, which, as I understand it, is going to have like several hundred people attending. And so we decided to put together a CD. And I decided it was going to be as close to professional quality as I could manage to get it. And so I had to learn a lot about mastering. It was at times humiliating, and continuously full of humility. But I learned a huge amount. And I learned why the big mastering engineers make the big bucks. Hey, Eric, how you doing? Yeah, me too. I left Google. I left YouTube. Because they started shitting on Brian and telling and policing him. And I just pissed me off so much. I just don't want to feed the beast anymore. It's stupid. And I've been happier without it. More productive. I got a channel over at Odyssey. I haven't really done anything with it yet. This is not the cover that's going to be used for the first really, but this is Brian's new album called Faith Under Fire. Faith Under Fire. Songs by Brian Rich. This is a badass photo of Brian. This is not the cover that he chose, but he's thinking about making it the cover for the next run. And all right, well, that's cool. Lump charcoal. Yeah, I've made charcoal before. It is a cool process. And it's useful stuff, too. Anyway, Eric, Brian and I made a CD at the behest of the Nashville people. I guess they wanted to hear what we'd come up with for a CD. And it's been mastered. And I've mastered it to a very, I've made it loud, Eric, because I found a way where I could make it really loud without sacrificing dynamic range and without sacrificing space and detail. That's hidden behind this mastering chain preset right here. You can't see what's in there. Nobody can see what's in there. It's called the Hail Mary chain. The Hail Mary chain. Yes, it is interesting. And if you know what you're looking at, this will be really interesting right here, Eric. By the way, it's good to hear from you. I haven't seen you in Discord lately. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and play this because here's what I'm doing, Eric. There are these loudness standards, okay? Loudness standards. There's a scale called LUFS, LUFS. And if you hit YouTube with anything louder than minus 14 LUFS, it will normalize and bring your audio into compliance with its loudness standard. This mix is minus 9.5 LUFS, which is considerably louder. Nashville typically runs minus 9 is much louder than minus 11, and minus 11 is quite a bit louder than minus 14. Nashville typically runs minus 11 to loudest to like minus 9. I got mine up to minus 9.5. Not by original intention, it's just the way it turned out. And I want to see what happens when I hit YouTube or any other streaming platform with a really loud signal. I want to see if it mangles my mix, if it squashes the dynamics. I want to hear what it does to my mix, if anything. Hopefully it won't. Hopefully it'll just make it quieter. And then if you turn it up in your device, then you can hear everything that you're supposed to hear. That's what I'm here to find out. This is just a test. And then I am out of here again. There's you can get all your news and stuff from other platforms. You don't need YouTube. Anyway, I'm just going to play it, and I'm going to take this off the screen for a second because I don't want anybody to see what's in this. What's in my chain here. So hang on. I just got to, oh no, oh there it was. Well, you can't see the important stuff. Okay. The important stuff is buried in there. All right. It's my secret sauce. All right. Here's my limiter. Tone Boosters Barricade V4. And if you know what you're looking at, you can see that by cranking it up to 9.5, I'm not losing much of anything. And you can see that in the waveforms before and after. And here is, right here on this panel, is the LUFS meter. That figure where it says program is integrated, that's the target number. The LRA is your dynamic range index. 4.4 is a decent number. I didn't lose dynamics, and I achieved this loudness without slaughtering my limiter and causing it to like choke on itself. So I'm just going to hit play, and then I'm going to come back and listen to it to see what YouTube does to it. Yeah, well, it's I'm terrible at science. It's just you just learn how this stuff works, like anything else, and you start to get good at it. And for the record, for those who watch and know what I'm talking about, no compression in the 2-bus. No compression in the 2-bus. Maybe one track I used a very slight hint of mid-only compression in the 2-bus at a ratio of 1.2. Only because I had to. And I sacrificed a little bit of detail in my soundstage to do so. You want to talk, people talk about glue. You need glue. It needs glue. Here's where your glue is. Here's what I discovered in my mastering engineering, the humiliating odyssey that was my experience mastering this album. Your glue is in your dynamic EQ attack and release settings for your individual instruments. That's one place where your glue is. You get that right, there's your glue. Okay, enough said. I'm going to hit play, and you can watch the limiter and see what I'm talking about. Here we go. Sorry, I'm just cranky, Eric. It's been a long 2 weeks. Here we go.
Raising inflation over my head. Another rate hike from a sawed-off bed. You put a poor man's heart in dread when you put his kids hungry in the bed. You're looking for a backwoods fight. Bet I'll eat better after hunting last night. You wanna take my guns one day, but you ain't met a man that's prayed the devil away. My damn back can't take it no more. I'm working myself to death. You got my money, you got my blood. Now you wanna take my last breath. 19 hours a day and I'm left in one hell of a wreck. Holes in my boots fuel me up with a feedback around my neck. Don't ask me to lend a helping hand when you turn my town into dust and sand. The trains don't thunder through as planned. You've gone against God with your law of the land. You brought your killers over the line, but ain't figured on the men in the pines who toast their retreat with a little moonshine after taking them down one man at a time. You're the kind the devil likes to sift. Better call on Jesus and learn how to give. It cost me my farm and the home we built. My wife had to sell her hand-stitched quilt. Said goodbye to the cow that gave milk. You might be judged in the blood of your guilt. The Lord tells me I gotta forgive. Guess I better ain't got long to live. My damn back can't take it no more. I'm working myself to death. You got my money, you got my blood. Now you wanna take my last breath. 19 hours a day and I'm left in one hell of a wreck. Holes in my boots fuel me up with the feedback around my neck. Holes in my boots fuel me up with the feedback around my neck. My damn back can't take it no more. I'm working myself to death.
All right, so there it is. Minus 9.5 LUFS integrated. Dynamic range index 4.3. With no peak reduction in the limiter. And headroom of minus 0.3 decibels. If you know what you're looking at and you want to know how, I didn't figure it out, okay? It was given to me. I consider it to have been an act of divine intervention, and I don't care what anybody says. If you want to know how this is possible, maybe you already do. I don't know. I'm just learning about all this stuff. But as far as I'm concerned, I hit a wall called the laws of physics, and this kind of like gets around it somehow. If you see this and you want to know how it's done, send me an email. My email is in the channel description. Otherwise, I'm keeping it close to my chest. And thank you for listening, Eric. It's very nice to that you dropped in and said hello and put Put some pictures of your charcoal making process in the Discord chat. I made charcoal before. It was fun. I didn't make a big batch of it. Like I'm sure you had a big operation going out on your property, but I mean, I made a little bit in my kitchen. I used chemicals. No, that's not what I did. No, I made activated charcoal. That's what I did. I know what you mean by making charcoal. That's a big thing. So, put some pictures in the Discord. I like to see it. Okay, that concludes my test. And now I'm going to go run away from YouTube again, go do other stuff that's a lot more rewarding. And Brian's album, Faith Under Fire, 14 songs, it'll be out Wednesday. And Eric, if you'd like a digital copy, let me know in Discord, and I'll send you a digital copy. All right? God bless everybody.